American Revolution, the war that changed the fate of the world as we know it. A conflict that lasted from the year 1776 to 1783, birthing a new nation rooted in liberty and rebellion. But what if I told you it all nearly ended before it even truly began? In the summer of 1776, just weeks after the Declaration of Independence was signed, General George Washington was faced with a moment that could have crushed the American cause, an entire revolution on the verge of collapse. Washington had roughly 23,000 untrained troops stationed around New York. He knew that control of New York was vital to the future of the rebellion. But what he didn't know was that the British were coming fast, and they weren't holding back. On August 22nd, 32,000 British and Hessian soldiers, more than any American force had ever seen, landed on Long Island. Their goal? Crush the rebellion in one decisive stroke. The American troops were caught off guard. The British used a brilliant flanking maneuver, crushing Washington's outer defenses and pushing the rebels toward the edge of Long Island, cornering them at Brooklyn Heights. Lord Stirling and his men heroically delayed the British advance, sacrificing themselves to buy Washington precious hours. But the conventional army was now trapped, their backs to the East River, the British in front, the noose tightening. In a secret war council, Washington faced a dire decision: fight to the last man, or retreat and live to fight another day. He chose to retreat, but this wouldn't be easy. On the night of August 29th, with British cannons looming nearby, Washington's men began an impossible mission: to silently evacuate 9,000 troops across the East River in total darkness using makeshift flatboats. To distract the enemy, campfires were kept burning, and men fired occasional shots. A regiment of fishermen from Marblehead, Massachusetts, hardened men who knew the river well, manned a boat. They moved back and forth in silence, transporting troops across the water. But even with these efforts, dawn approached and thousands remained behind. And then, something unbelievable happened. A dense, unexpected fog rolled in that morning, so thick that you could barely see a few feet ahead of you. Historians have described it as one of the most well-timed weather events in military history. It blanketed Brooklyn Heights, concealing the final phase of the retreat. With the fog shielding them, the remaining soldiers, including General Washington himself, slipped away undetected. He was the last to leave the battlefield. When the British finally advanced, they were stunned. The Continental Army had vanished. This retreat, sometimes referred to as the Dunkirk of the Revolution, is considered one of the greatest military escapes in history. Had Washington been captured or killed, the American Revolution might have died in its infancy. The morale would have collapsed. France and other allies may have never offered support. The cause of American liberty snuffed out before it even lit its flame. But thanks to this miracle of leadership, courage, and weather, the revolution survived, and the fight for independence continued. In the story of the American Revolution, we often focus on victories: Yorktown, Saratoga, the Declaration of Independence. But sometimes, history is changed not by triumphs, but by escapes. Not by firepower, but by fog. And not by certainty, but by faith in the cause. Washington's escape from Brooklyn reminds us that the road to liberty was not paved with constant success. It was held together by moments of desperation daring, and divine luck. It's a reminder that history doesn't always hinge on the battles we win. Sometimes it turns on the ones we barely